Greetings, discreet defenders and gun enthusiasts. This awful mess you see in front of you right now is my new project gun for the winter. And it's probably going to be used to kill some geese this spring. Light goose conservation order. Anyway, this is what I'm working on. In case you're curious, it's an old Winchester 1300 Black Shadow edition. I picked up for a song at a pawn shop because the action was binding. It was super cheap, super good deal. I figured out what was going wrong with it pretty quick. Like there's a little plastic O-ring inside these fore ends, and if the cap isn't screwed on. Well, if the cap isn't properly positioned so that it can be screwed on tight enough to make contact, if this isn't on tight enough, this little plastic piece here can come slightly loose inside of there, and then it can sort of twist or wiggle or wobble back and forth, and then that'll bind going over the magazine tube. So that's what's going on right here. To fix that, I took down a little bit of the fore end so that these would fit properly, and then to take up the space in there, because I did grind it down just a little farther than I wanted to. I've had to employ some black silicone to create a kind of a gasket right in there. That binding issue should be cleared up, and then it's just a matter of cleaning this thing up. Somebody had applied an unrighteous amount of grease to it, so we're going to get the gun scrubber involved. And yeah, I'm not sure how much cleaning they had done other than just dump way too much lube into there. Way too much lube is not a solution to binding action, to a binding pump action or any other action on your gun. It's just a really nice firearm. I just love these classic Winchester 1300s. But yeah, it's a good lesson for all of us to learn, is that way too much lube is not a solution. If you have an issue and it's not being solved by a standard or an appropriate amount of lube, then typically the solution, your go-to solution should not be way too much lube. An old pump 12 gauge is probably one of the simplest firearms in the world, unless you do something stupid with this. You know, I'm not screwing around with the trigger assembly at all. That just pops right out of there. You know, one pin. In this case, two if you have an 870 or I think Mossbergs have two. Don't lose them. But if you do, they're like, I don't know, $6 on eBay. But yeah, this is going to be a great shotgun, and there's no reason why somebody had to go and sell it for next to nothing. And of course, the guys at the pawn shop they're not gonna take time to open this up and see what's going on, unless it's a place where they have a gunsmith they can call, you know, but not the one I was at. So, problem solved, and I'm just gonna go ahead and finish cleaning this up and brushing some of the rust off of there with some steel wool and some Rem oil. And then I'm going to have basically a brand new shotgun. I had a Black Shadow 1312 gauge a number of years ago. Had to sell it. Got in some rough times in college and wound up selling that thing, and regretted it ever since. Now I have a Black Shadow again. There's my project gun. Hope y'all are having a good winter. As soon as I get some ammo or some nice days, even, I'll get back out and do some more 38 special testing. But this is just kind of an update to let you know what I'm working on this winter. Thanks, folks. This has been Dave with DDR.